What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We're glad that you've joined us tonight. My name is Nick. I'm one of the hosts of the call, and I have my beautiful princess fiance next to me, Haley. Not only is she my fiance, but she's a powerhouse as well. So super excited to have her joining tonight next to me. And tonight we're going to be speaking about a very exciting topic on vision. And then our brother Mike's going to speak about faith, right? So how about we just join and jump right into it, okay? So I'm going to actually be sharing my screen here so that we're able to cover some things in an organized manner, all right? Okay, let me see. Give me a quick thumbs up if you can see this. Good? Amazing. Fantastic. Great. So I think that this topic is so powerful, and it's something that we've been actually covering this past week a lot, right? Because we understand, we know the power of having a vision. We've known that for a very long time. And obviously, this is something that all of us, if you're here right now, it's my hallucination that you have a very clear understanding of the importance of having a vision as well, right? And so that's not the issue. Now, the thing that was missing is that we realized that we weren't practicing visualizing as often as we know that we could and should. Okay, so we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to actually keep track of the time here. All right. So first things first, if you don't even know what you want in life, how do you expect to get it?
Oof.
It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. And if we really stop and think, if I ask you right now, you listening, to unmute yourself and tell me exactly what your vision looks like, how spot on and how ready are you to tell me that vision? That's
how specific.
How specific can you get? That's the real tester to know if your vision is very clear. Okay, so where there is no vision, there is no hope. And also, we didn't put it in here, but a great book, the foundational book, in my opinion, the Bible says, where there's no vision, people perish. Okay, so obviously a huge topic, and we're just going to cover the surface tonight, but hopefully by the end of this, you're going to have a clear understanding and a tool that you can apply to have a better vision for yourself, okay? So by not focusing on our vision and seeing ourselves in it, we are creating a gap between us and that vision. And this was the realization that we had this past 2 weeks, right? And that led us to wanting to speak about this this Monday with you guys, is that we've known our vision, right? We've had our vision board over there, right? We're coming here, we're
very
visual,
elaborate.
We're seeing it, we're talking about it, we're writing it down, right? And however, we realized that there was a gap because we weren't seeing ourselves in it. So that's my question to you. Have you been practicing that? Have you been seeing yourself in that vision of yours?
It's great to have a vision board, but if you're just looking at pictures and you don't feel anything, you can't actually see yourself in that picture, it doesn't do you justice. And that's what we realized.
Absolutely. So let's dive in a little bit deeper. So here we go. If you're writing this down, this is huge right here. We must focus on our desires until they become obsessional. Obsessional, burning desires are the only desires able to penetrate our subconscious mind. Okay, little typo there. But this right here is very important, because I think we all have that. We have a vision, but until it becomes obsessional, burning desire, it will not penetrate our subconscious mind. 95% of our lives are ran by our subconscious mind. So that means that only 5% of it. So you thinking of your vision is only 5% of it. If we are not obsessing over the desires, it will not penetrate the other 95% of our mind.
They're just coming and going. They're not really doing much.
Yeah. So check this out. Mere wish versus burning desire. Because I think a lot of us have a vision and we think that we have a burning desire, but we're really just wishing. Okay. Here's what wishing is. Thinking about the desire every so often. Fleeting thoughts, like Haley said, without any focus. Okay. And when I read this and when I learned this and when I realized this, it really hit me. Because that's the average person's thinking. They're thinking about this. They really want it for a little bit, but then they really want that too. And they want that. And then now they're really thinking about this weekend. And it's like, it's not creating any serious effect, right? It's like putting a popcorn bag in a microwave, and you are putting it on for 2 minutes, and after 5 seconds you're opening it and you're looking at it to see if you already have popcorn, and then now you're beginning to doubt yourself, and then you put it back in, and then you really think about it again, and you put it back, and you start another 5 seconds later, you take it off. You're not, there's nothing will be created from that, right? So here's what a burning desire is. Having a burning desire is having a major occupant of thoughts on a day-to-day basis. Concentration of interest and desire. Concentration of interest and desire. That makes a powerful impression on the subconscious mind.
So a wish, we have many wishes in life. Me personally, I have many wishes in life, but how you transform that wish to a burning desire is thinking about it more often. You can change any wish into a burning desire very easily simply by just thinking about it more often on a day-to-day basis.
So how often do you think about your dream? How often are you really thinking about it? Not from a standpoint of I really want it. I'm really excited for one day, but like, man, I'm so pumped because I know that it's already here, and now I just gotta walk it out until it comes to me. I already feel it. I know what it's gonna feel when I get there. I think that's the key.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so much different than thinking like, yeah, that's my future. Like looking at the dream board and being like, oh yeah, that's gonna be me. But then I'm here in life, and my mental image I can see more clearly is here, me in this apartment, and it's really hard to like connect the dots, which is what we're gonna go into next.
Yeah, and I have a question as well. Are you guys? So drop a 2 in the chat if you already know this. Like if you're aware of the fact that having a vision is very important. You've read it before. You've talked about it before. You know it, right? You know that it's something that needs to be worked on, that it's important to visualize it and really think about it often and think about it from a standpoint of already being there, right? We already know it. Now, drop a 3 in the chat if you can relate with me that many times, I mean, are we actually stopping and taking 5-10 minutes of our day to actually sit and visualize and feel what that's gonna be like and how amazing that is gonna feel once that vision comes through? Drop a 3 in the chat if you can relate that you're not doing that enough. You know that that's something that's a habit that you don't have. It's a muscle that has not yet been developed. We're right there with you, and we restarted it. We resparked that, right?
And I feel like personally, it's so easy to have that wish, have that vision, have the vision board, have whatever, but then get stuck in the loop of, okay, now how can I figure out? And we go do, and we try to figure out how can we do it when it's so much simpler than that. It's so much simpler than that. And sometimes just taking a few minutes every single day consistently, and like Nick said, working on that vision muscle to see that vision clearly, so I can see that vision a lot more clearly than I can see me just here in my apartment currently. You know what I mean? That is what bridges the gap. But we need to realize how truly powerful it is, and so we won't get lost in those day-to-day activities and trying to figure and control everything. Because sometimes that's just us working. That's us working harder, not smarter.
It's very true. That is very true. I know I can relate with that, right? Getting in the habit of doing things, but not sticking to myself in the end goal yet, right? And here's a great quote by Steve Jobs. If you're working on something exciting that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. However, if the vision is not clear, it will not pull you. And that's why we're here right now, okay? And these are the 3 words that I want you guys to write down in big, bold letters so that you can keep in mind as we proceed with this call and as you proceed with building this muscle for yourself. Strongly emotionalized thoughts. Strongly emotionalized thoughts. That's connecting your mind, the imagination, our thoughts with our heart. The 2 need to be congruent, okay? All right, I'm excited for this one right here. You guys ready to figure out the 4 elements for creating a burning desire through visualization? Here they are. Frequency. Write it down. Frequency. How often do you do it?
Is it, every New Year's? Going
really
through
think about it.
New Year's
really excited.
resolutions. Maybe I should think about my future now. Is it every few months? Or is it every week? Or is it every day? Frequency is huge.
So important. 2, duration. How long do you do it? How long do you visualize yourself there? How long can you sit and put yourself in that dream? 5 years, 10 years, whatever, however long that's going to take. That's not up to us to figure it out, but how often and how long do we stay there and feel those emotions?
Is it just a fleeting thought?
Mm.
Like it said on the previous slide, if it's a fleeting thought, then it's not going to have much power to it.
That's right.
It's not going to penetrate the subconscious mind if it just comes and then it goes.
And then you get busy and then have another thought, and then you remember that you got to call your grandma, so you just stop doing what you're doing and you go call your grandma. Like it's not. And if
yeah,
I was gonna say, and if that's where you're at, that's totally fine. That's just a sign that it's a muscle that needs to be developed.
Mm-hmm.
And right, and so we're just exposing and we're bringing this to everyone's awareness, because we're working on this ourselves every day. We started this
recently, actually.
Very recently, and it's amazing. It's amazing what happens once we do it, and we're excited to see everyone else experience it as well. So number 3, vividness. How clear is that picture of yours? How clear is it?
We did this, like, I want to say it was 2 weeks ago or so, and we were just laying there, and I actually made a sticky note, and I put this on the back of our porch, on the back door, so we would see it. And we have sticky notes all over our house, just as reminders for us. But this one specifically, I put, have you dreamed about your future today?
Mm.
And so I put that up a few weeks ago, and so now it's getting me to think, and that's kind of what started this. And so we sat down and we started thinking. I told him, I'm like, okay, start thinking. And I start just speaking on the future. Like, what do you think about? And I'm not even kidding you guys. It was hard. I was like, I don't even know what to think about. Like, what am I picturing right now? There's so many things on our vision board, but I had no idea because I don't do it. It's just like anything else. You don't do it, it's going to be hard and uncomfortable for a little bit, but the more you do it. And so my picture wasn't very clear.
Mm.
It wasn't very clear. But of course, since then, we've done it a lot more often. And each time we do it, that picture, I start to see things in actual time, and I see myself there like, oh, wow, this looks real.
And you get excited.
Like, and that's vividness,
it right there.
That creates the emotion.
That's it. And the last part, intensity. How strong of an emotion do you feel while you are visualizing? That is really the key that closes it all. Okay? Intensity. How strong of an emotion.
That's what pulls it closer to you. And if you exercise this muscle fast, like quickly, like you could do it in a couple days. Like you could really be intentional about this.
That's right.
Something can pop up in your life, whatever you were visualizing, right then. It doesn't have to be down the road. There's no limit.
Yes.
It can come into fruition.
Don't get caught up with the how.
Yeah.
Or when.
Just focus on pulling it closer to you, like Steve Jobs said.
That's right. So let's move forward. We have 4 minutes left here. The imagination is the workshop of the soul, where man's hopes and desires are made ready for material expression. The imagination is the workshop of the soul, okay? Every new thing starts out in the mind as a thought, a dream, or fantasy. The ability to visualize and daydream is key. Use your imagination to create the life you truly want.
So imagination is the same thing as visualization, by the way. It's like interchangeable. Or so I'm learning.
Yeah, that's right. So how about this? Because I'm sure that you guys can relate with us. This is great stuff, right? Great. Awesome. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Got a dream. Great. Got it. Check. Next. How about we stop right now and let's dream a little bit for a few minutes. We'd love to guide you guys a little bit. If you would like to join us, wherever you're at right now, whatever you got going on in your mind, close your eyes for a little bit. Close your eyes for a second. This is a time for yourself. This is time well invested. You've already joined us here tonight, right? I'm proud of you. I'm grateful that you guys are here with us. And I really hope that for the next few minutes, we're able to dive deep a little bit deeper into that dream of yours, right? So as you close your eyes and take a deep breath, I want you to think about 10 years down the road, right? I want you to think about 5 years down the road. I want you to think about yourself achieving the goals that you have for yourself. I want you to envision yourself being in a new home that you have, a dream home that you have in mind, that you have in your heart. What does that look like? You have the keys in your hands. Look at your hands. You're holding the keys. You're opening that door. You're walking in. You're taking the first step into your brand new home, right? How does it feel? What is the smell? You're walking down, you're looking around. What are you seeing? Is it bringing a smile to your face? You go into the back porch, you see the backyard. What does that look like? What is that view? What is that view? What do you see there? You look back. You got some people with you. Who are they? Who is with you there? They're just so happy that they're joining you. Maybe you walk into the garage. You see that dream car that you've always had. A car that makes you feel good. It's not about the materialistic things, but you've worked for it. You've earned it. God has blessed you. And you have the car of your dreams, a car that makes you feel great when you step in it. Not for others, but for yourself. What is that car? What's the color of it? Step in that car real quick. That brand new smell. How does that feel? It feels awesome, huh? What are you doing with your life? What does your days, your weeks, your months consist of? Are you traveling? Are you going to places that you've always wanted to visit? Are you working in a specific company or working for yourself? Who are you traveling with? Where are you going? What is that place that you've always wanted to go? Go there right now. Travel there. Find yourself there in that spot, overviewing the city, eating amazing meals, just being happy, seeing yourself happy with family, with people you love. And you're blessed, you're fulfilled, you're doing something that you believe in, that you're passionate about. You're doing something that's contributing to society, to the world. Are you connected spiritually? What does that look like? What does that connection look like? What has that life, that dream life that you've created for yourself, what does it look like right now? You're there. How do you feel? Take a deep breath. That dream is yours. That's your life.
Wow. Can I just stay here?
So I got a question, because right now we're in a time crunch. We got another minute. So we're going to stop that for a second. But I have a question for you guys. How does that feel? How did that feel? If you're able to connect, right? Drop it in the chat. How do you feel right now? And for some of you that may not be, maybe it was hard for you to connect. And that's okay, right? If your mind is thinking about all these other things, you don't really know even where to start. You have never stopped and think about all these things. That's okay.
Muscle.
It's a muscle, right? So you just went to your first workout class, right? That visualization workout. It gets easier from there, but I encourage you guys to use this, apply this, and make a commitment to yourself to visualize the life of your dreams in the present moment and seeing who's there. What are the contributions that you're doing to society, to the world? Maybe a nonprofit work. Who are you helping? How much are you giving back? How does that feel? All these things. Apply this.
And something I like to say is, picture who you want to be 5 years from now and show up as that person today.
Say that one more time.
Visualize who you want to be, like we just did, 5 years from now. Where do I want to be? Who do I want to look like? How do I want to hold myself as a person? How do I want to speak? How do I want to dress? What do I want to look like? Who do I want to have around me? Picture that person and show up as that person today. Hold yourself today as that person. Act, behave like that person would. Not like the person today. No, if I want to get there, that's where it starts.
That's it. I love that. That is beautiful. So last quote for you guys, and then we're done here. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And for those of you that don't know Ellen Keller, she's blind.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
So
oh man.
Hopefully this was a
take advantage of it.
Inspiring moment for you guys. Hope that you had some realizations. Hope that you're able to practice and see yourself in that dream of yours, and you got exposed to how simple it is to go in that heart and mind connection and visualize the future, knowing that if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, like Napoleon Hill says. So we're super grateful that you guys have joined us. And with that being said, we're going to pass it on to our brother, Michael Battanti. He's going to be diving in faith, which is a super important part in connection to this, right? Because we can get trapped in the how. But our brother Mike, my right-hand man, that has been there for many years, is going to dive into that right now. Mike, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to pass the mic to you, my brother. Super excited to hear what you got to say for us.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Nikki T. It's awesome watching you guys stand and deliver together. It's a beautiful sight. Super grateful to be here. The content, if the vision is clear, it will pull you. Unbelievably powerful. About Mondays, it's not our spiritual Sundays, but one thing I want you to understand about faith is, yes, we could take it into religion, right? That's where most people know it, but faith exists outside of religion as well, right? So if you're not a religious person, getting a phone call. Am I back?
You're good.
Okay. Let me do that. So if you're not a religious person, that's okay, right? Faith exists outside of religion. And here's what I want to tell you. The definition is complete trust or confidence in someone or something. And when Nick told me what him and Haley were going to talk about tonight, I just thought it was an amazing piggyback because a lot of it's going to intertwine. I want you to pay attention. I got 3 concepts that are very important, and I got some tidbits in between. Write this down if you can. Believe in something or fall for everything. And it is so important, right? Like the amount of people that doubt things until they materialize, the amount of people that doubt different crashes that other people are like, yo, this is happening. I'm putting all my money in this, and everyone else is doubting it. But have you ever noticed there's that one person who just undoubtedly believes in something that nobody else believes in? And then it happens and everyone's like, I mean, yesterday that person was crazy until it happened. And now they're brilliant. They're a genius. So identify what that is in your life, right? You can believe in one thing, find one thing to believe in and go all in on that one thing, or you will fall for the tricks of everything else, right? And it depends on what it is to you and what that means to you, right? As Nick and Haley were walking us through, right, that clarity, what does it look like for you? And my question, we're gonna power through. Give me 1 second. I'm in some life transition, so I apologize.
You got to envision the dogs there too, bro.
Yeah.
Dogs in that vision.
Sounds so real. I wanted a golden retriever. How did you know?
The dogs are a part of the vision. So we're talking about what does it look like for you, right? And getting specific, because if you can get specific, right, it begins to materialize. Do you meditate or do you pray? Write it down, right? Nick gave us the stepping stones of the frequency, the duration. Get to the frequency, the duration, the vividness, the intensity. Does it exist in your world? That moment of like, stop and think. For me specifically, I'm a mile a minute. I'm always going. And when I'm always going, it's just what's happening right now. And my ability to materialize the future, my ability to manifest for the spiritual creatures that are on this call, it doesn't exist because I'm just doing. And I'm not envisioning, and allowing my doing to intertwine with what I'm envisioning. Here are some keys to success, right? My job, you guys know me. One person on the call is like, yo, I vibed on that and I did my job, right? That's my job right here with 20 people on the call. Here are some keys to success that I found. Number 1, get crystal clear. For those of you who have followed me for the past years, I put 80% of my effort into the outline so that when I'm writing the paper, when I'm writing the novel that is my life story, I'm not winging it. I'm not shooting from the hip. When I decide to start writing, I have my thesis statement already. I have the paragraphs mapped out. I have all of my quotes and I have the citation. The bibliography is not the thing I do last. The bibliography is already done because I know what I'm citing as I'm writing. The hard work is done versus trying to scramble to find the sources that apply to the paragraph that you're writing in the moment that you're writing it. And there's no guidance. There's no overview. There's no omniscient viewpoint looking in on what you want your life story to be. So get crystal clear. Number 2, I'm going to say this multiple times because some of you really need to hear it. I need to hear it more than anybody on the call. Who are you listening to? Block out the noise. Write this down. Am I living my life? Am I living life for me? Or am I living life for my parents? Or am I living life for my siblings? Or am I living life for my friends? All of these people who love me, all of these people who care for me, but not one of them walks my journey. Not one of them walks in my shoes. So there's a disconnect, and I want you to pay attention to that disconnect. You can love me, you can have the best, you can want the best for me, but you don't feel what the Holy Spirit makes me feel. You don't have that clarity of the walk that I'm being called to walk. Only I have that. It is so important to stop and say, am I doing this because it's what my heart wants, or am I doing this because it's what the world wants? I came into this world alone and I'm leaving the same way. So guess what? If that's the case, I can heed counsel. I can reach outwards for mentorship. I can reach outwards for guidance and direction, but the decision is inside out. The decision is made from my heart, not from my external advice, opinions, right? Nikki T, what's your line, bud? Like, the second you take advice from somebody, you are accepting their lifestyle. The second you receive opinions, you are saying, I want your lifestyle. And that, for me, it reverts back. You're going to notice that all of these things revert back to number 1 of get crystal clear, because I'm very crystal clear on my journey. I hear it all, and I pick and choose what I'm actually going to take and apply. I hear people who love me. I hear people who care for me tell me their opinions, but I already am crystal clear on where I'm going. And if that person is not there, it's very specific about the information. And what that's allowed me to do is open up my heart and my ears to everything. But what I actually apply is very specific. And it's very relative to the outline that I've already created for my life, right? It's very important. Number 3, create habits that surround your vision. Create habits that surround your vision. Why are you still doing things that don't serve your vision? It's probably because you're not clear on your vision. That's why you're down to go around those people that don't do anything. I reached a point where I could no longer sit in the basement and play the guitar and rip bowls. I could not live that life anymore. Me and Libby have now gotten to a place where we no longer want to go into the restaurant because it's easy money. Because our vision is bigger. Our vision is clearer. We know where we want to go, and it does not involve the easy money that comes from standing behind the bar. Because you know what else comes with standing behind the bar? Just complaining. Like, I'm your therapist now. And like the negative energy. And I'm surrounded by low vibrations because there's alcohol involved. I don't want to exist in that space anymore. Right? And you know why it's easy for me to say no to that and build better habits? Is because I'm very clear on my vision. And it does not involve never quit. Write in the chat, say I'll never quit on myself. Write it on your mirror. Say I'll never quit on you. When you wake up in the morning, look yourself in the eyes and say, I love you. I will never quit on you. everyone else around you will quit on you. Everyone else around you will quit on you. Right? You have to promise never to quit on yourself. You will fall forward. I can't tell you how many times the vision that me and Nick had for what we are creating to this day, what we're continuing to build, has shifted. We have put money into things that did not work. We have put time into things that did not work. We are falling forward. And the biggest thing, we've never quit. We keep coming back for more. Why? Because the vision is super clear and we're not going to stop until we get there. So pay attention to these things. If you're not crystal clear, if you have not spent 80% of your time on the outline, your path becomes much harder to walk. It becomes that much harder to block out the noise. You know why it becomes that much harder to block out the noise? Because you don't recognize the noise. You hear sound and you just want to dance. Free spirit, right? I'm asking you to be a free spirit with structure, because that's where productivity comes from, is structure. Be the dreamer, be the visionary, get lost in the clouds, and then bring yourself back to earth and get to work with structure and discipline, right? But if you don't have that outline, it becomes hard to block out the noise. You probably don't even recognize the noise in your own life. You don't see the snakes in the grass because you're not clear, right? It's hard for you to create habits because you think the habits that you have right now are working because you're not clear on your vision. It's easy for you to quit. It's easy for you to give up. It's easy for you to fall backwards instead of forwards because you're not clear on your vision, right? Why am I saying this to you? Is because faith is the bridge between what I don't see and what I'm going to materialize in time. Faith is the bridge. Faith is what keeps me alive. Faith is what keeps me coming back for more when business just beat the mess out of me, when life and my emotions and my negative traits just beat me down. Faith is what has me show up the next day and I want more. Complete trust and confidence in someone or something. If there's anything you're going to take from me right now, it's that you need to have faith in yourself. Make that someone. Complete trust or confidence in someone. Make that someone yourself. Stop relying on the people around you and rely on yourself. Right? It's you that is the gardener that produces. The harvest does not come without the gardener. You are the gardener. Welcome to the show. Wake up, right? Here's a quote I want you to write down. Only those who can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. Only those who can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. Here's the mindset to intertwine with that. Everything is impossible until one person does it. And then it becomes real. And some of the things, people have done them. Jeff Bezos, but he's not connected enough. Look at your network. Man, that kid did it. Yo, that girl did it. Come on. Come on, Libby. Come on, Haley. Come on, Nick. Like, at what point do you look yourself in the mirror and say, come on. Like, this kid did it and you aren't doing it? For me, it's the visuals are always in snowboarding. There will be this little 11-year-old that steps into the terrain park and starts throwing backflips. Starts doing big rails, big jumps. And I look at it and I literally say the same thing every time. I'm like, if he can do it, you can do it, Michael. So go do it. And then I go do it. And you know what I realize? I can do it. Because only those who can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. It was impossible until I saw the 11-year-old do it. And once I saw the 11-year-old do it, I pushed myself to believe now that I've seen somebody do it, it's definitely possible. But is it possible for me? Let's go see. Let's go see. And that's what I have for you is like, for me, where are you building your house? Is it on sand or is it on stone? And if you don't have faith in yourself outside of religion, take religion. It's a whole separate category. You can come talk to me about religion and faith in God and the Bible, you can talk to me about that on Sunday. I'm asking you about the faith in yourself. And if you are not building your life on faith in yourself and belief in yourself, then you are not building your future on rock. You are building your future on sand. And what happens when the storm comes? Your life crumbles, right? That person walks out of your life, you crumble. That job fires you, you crumble. You lose all your money in a freak encounter, you crumble. Because it was never built on the belief in you. It was built on the crutches of everyone and everything else. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. If you vibed on it, you vibed on it, right? I was talking to my believe in it. It's there. But like, look yourself in the mirror. Here's my big thing. We want to talk about duration. When you look at yourself in the mirror, how long do you maintain eye contact? And that'll tell you who the alpha in the situation is. That will tell you who the alpha in the situation is. You or your demons. If you can't hold eye contact with you, your lesser self is winning. Right? If you can't look yourself in the eye and be like, man, I don't want to stop looking at you. You are gorgeous. The only reason I'm going to stop looking at you right now is because I got to go get to work. But I'll be back. I'll be back for you because I love you and you're beautiful and you're strong and I believe in you and I have faith in you. Believe in something or fall for everything. Nikki T, pass it back to you, bud.
Wow.
Amen, bro.
Preaching, Mike. Preaching.
Yeah, I felt that. That was beautiful. Nothing else needs to be said.
I don't even know what else to say.
Hope you guys that are watching the recording really enjoy this. Get connected with the community. Come by with us. And for those of you that are still here on a call live, we're going to be masterminding. Peace and love, everyone. God bless.